Hello, Cancer. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to be here. Um, this is my first round of videos that I'm doing for these Signs of the Zodiac monthly readings. And I just am so enjoying watching all the amazing readers out there on YouTube. It's so much fun. It's like one of my favorite things to do or to watch these videos. So I thought I would do a round two because I think it's always nice to hear what different people have to say. And it's always really interesting when different people talk about the same things. So anyway, if you get a chance, please watch my little intro video that I did, just kind of introducing myself and what I'm doing here and how I do it. Um, if you don't get a chance, I'll quickly just let you know. I do two readings. The first will be a love focus for November 2015, and then the second will be just more of a general focus for you. So I do both in the same video. I'll give you a little bit more of an all-around you know, type of reading, not just solely focused on one area of your life. So I've been shuffling these cards for a while, and I think it's time to move into the reading. So here we go. This one here for you, Cancer. So here we go. Four of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, King of Swords, the World, King of Wands, Knight of Swords, the Emperor, and your Ten of Pentacles. Okay. So you have a lot of activity happening here. I'm going to start. Sometimes I like to start with where the energies are strongest with the major arcana. You have the World and the Emperor here. But honestly, I feel like this top row is actually pretty significant for you. You might be going through some phase of maybe disengagement, if you will, some level of, where things, opportunities, this is a love reading, so even maybe love interests are coming into your life, and you might not necessarily be so interested in what's being presented to you. If you are in a relationship with someone, a committed situation, you might be feeling a little disconnected from the relationship. You might be feeling a little bored. Maybe there's not enough variety. And, it could be causing some issues for you. If you're dating, maybe you're not really clicking with anybody. And, you might be kind of taking a little bit of a grass is greener type of approach, where you're looking in through the stained glass windows and seeing what everyone else has and recognizing what you don't have, which isn't always the best attitude to have. Sometimes that's, you need to realize what you do have. And, if you're in a relationship with someone, instead of being dissatisfied, maybe you're going through some kind of a hardship, or something happened in your life that's maybe been a little bit rough going. Instead of looking at your partner or your current situation as being oh, look at what everyone else has, feeling sorry for yourself, they're doing so much better than we are, and that. Maybe take a look or take the stance that you are so lucky as to have someone standing next to you that is willing to weather the storm with you. They're not abandoning you, they're not moving on ahead of you, they're walking next to you in this storm. And to not look on to others, to view them, not look on to others and view them as having more than you. There might be some level of like an internal struggle, if you will. This is very much internal, like your mindset, what your attitude towards things. And the reason why I went to this top row is because all of these were sort of speaking to me in the same type of way, where you have your Seven of Wands here, which could be you being courageous but also defensive, and maybe something's happening where people are attacking you, or you're feeling like things are happening to you and you're constantly on the defensive, having to fend off these things that just keep coming at you, and they're coming quickly and they're coming hard, and you're just constantly having to block them and to protect yourself. But that might not necessarily be the case. You might be sort of envisioning that, and you might be playing the victim card a little bit too hard. We all can play the victim sometimes, and sometimes we really are, but for you and in your instance, I kind of feel like you might be just playing it up a little bit. Stop it. Don't. You have good things happening here. I'm trying to see where to go next. I mean, here you have the world in the center of your world. The world is a phase, a period of closure, things coming to an end, where you have everything that you need, every piece of knowledge that you need to know. Your heart is fulfilled to the max. I mean, this is a beautiful card of your world coming together. Things are coming around full circle, and you are kind of it's the end is the beginning and the beginning is the end type of thing, type of concept. You might be moving into a new phase into your life. You have a lot of people in this reading. I'm trying to kind of work them out. I'm seeing two different energies here. Two kings, the King of Swords and the King of Wands. And I'm picking up that they are definitely people in your life. And love readings can be a little bit tricky. It doesn't necessarily always have to be relationships or, romantic types of situations. It could also be friends and family and things like that. So when I say two people, two energies, it doesn't necessarily have to be a partner. I'm seeing the King of Swords and the King of Wands, both, I kind of think of the King of Wands as the ultimate visionary, and the King of Swords is the ultimate intellect. You have two incredibly powerful forces, both very well versed, both knowledgeable, both emotionally mature, both secure, both very quality people, and that can bring to the table the best of what they're good at. if you will. And I'm not necessarily seeing that either one of these energies is you, although these energies are bookending your world. And it kind of is seeming like your world is, they are revolving your world. And even your emperor here, even your emperor. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to piece this together a little bit more. Um, Honestly, I'm picking up like four distinct energies here. A lot of times there's a card, or, especially with the Knight of Swords, that might represent you, but I'm not necessarily getting that. I'm feeling like you do have four distinct presence, in your life. And the Emperor is probably the most prominent. It is someone likely, this card is the card of Aries, or a fire sign, or someone with that type of energy. I mean, the Emperor, look at him. He's older, he's more mature. He's not necessarily the kindest, most nurturing, fatherly type figure. He rose through the ranks in the military. He's a warrior, he's a fighter, he's a strategist. He's incredibly intelligent. And he is sort of, your world is being surrounded by people. Um, and then here you have your Knight of Swords, which is directly connected with your King of Swords here. And, the sword cards often represent air signs. So your Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Actually, let me think on this for just a moment. I'm actually now feeling like stuck. Maybe I'm seeing four distinct energies, but it's possible that you have two people that are maybe going through a phase, like a change of their energies, where the King of Swords might be someone that is very prominent in your life, but might be coming to, might be acting in kind of a little more immature way, or they are more immature and they're acting, like they're a little bit better than they actually are. Kind of like almost like a dual personalities. Like they are projecting that they are one thing when in actuality they are not. Maybe to purposely, I'm not seeing you being fooled by any of this. It's not something that you're not dumb, so. But then you also have your King of Wands here, who could be and the reason why I'm saying that these might be the same energies and that they might be going through some sort of a transformation would be because this is also indicative of fire signs, so it could be an Aries, it could be also Sagittarius, Leo, or someone with those types of qualities at this point in time. They might be putting on a little bit more of a stern front, a little bit more. They might be taking a more of a a general type of role as opposed to a general versus a president, if you will, one more militaristic or authoritative versus executive. Um, I kind of think as this guy is like a CEO of a company, kind of like the executive branch of government, the president versus the head of the military, or that type of vibe where he might just be kind of shifting from being a big picture, strategy type of person to, okay, we got to be on the defensive. We got to figure out what we need to do and get everything in place, get everything in order, and get the troops on the ground to make this happen. The visionary is not necessarily, I mean, it is a sign of action, the wands, but the emperor even more so. Doing things, acting upon them, making the change. The wand sign often, even the page of wands also has the chameleon. It's transformation. It is change. It is things that are undergoing some sort of a renaissance, if you will. And I'm kind of getting the impression that this person, the King of Wands and the Emperor, this fire-like energy is also maybe an extremely wealthy person. Maybe has a family or has inherited things, have been granted things from their family. And for some reason you are up at the top here, disengaged, a little bit on the defensive here now. It might be that this person, this air-like energy, is trying to project that they are one thing. They might not actually be that. They are pretending to be so great and so smart and so intelligent. And maybe they are, but you're not interested. You're not buying it. You're not being fooled by anything. You're not taking what it is that they are offering. I'm feeling as though, maybe this more fire-like energy is causing you to be on the defensive. Maybe there is something that you are fighting against, or there's maybe some sort of a future that you might be fighting against a little bit. I'm honestly not seeing a significant, even though this is your love reading, I'm more just seeing the presence of these people. I don't see them offering you anything, except maybe this fire sign might be, sort of in the works and being a little bit I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think. Like maybe they are trying to bring you into their world, and for some reason you are fighting against that a little bit. You're protecting what you know and what you have, and and what you've done and you've accomplished. Sorry, that's my dog. He'll sit down in a second. And they might try, you know, the wands are quick energy. They're fast, they're distinct, they're very, you know, prominent. They are cards of action, and for some reason you're not necessarily being drawn into this. You're not being drawn into his world, and you know, maybe that is what it is that you're looking through in the stained glass. Maybe that is, you know, if you are in a relationship and, you know, there is maybe promise of something supposedly better or supposedly more rewarding, if you will, you know that at the end of the day, maybe you have someone that's standing next to you no matter what. But if you're single and you're in a dating scenario, or you are open to meeting someone new, you're not in a position where you are going to leave or abandon what you know to be true, or what you know that you've accomplished, or what you know that you have worked hard to attain. And you're not going to be fooled by the grass is greener mentality. So this reading was a little bit tough for me. It didn't really come together so well. I'm going to pull an outcome card. Let's see if it will reinforce any of the concepts that I brought up. I'm not super happy with... Sometimes the readings are so clear, and sometimes they just are not. Okay. This one. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. My goodness, you have so much like royalty in your reading. So many people. So many people. I'm almost getting the impression that this energy is yours, male or female, the Queen of Pentacles. I'm sort of feeling that through this process here that I've kind of talked a lot about, that you are very focused on your goal, and whatever that goal may be, and that you have set this for yourself. You are, you know, this queen is, you know, she is alone, but she is on a throne of stone. She is sturdy, well-grounded. She brings life to everything that she touches. You know, she's in a wonderful garden, and it's, you know, with animals, and she's nurturing. She's very kind. But she is focused, and she knows what she wants. And I'm getting the feeling that you are being approached by people, and good quality people. There's no doubt about that. But that they just aren't quite exactly what you want, or they're not exactly what you are focused on. And they're not really presenting or bringing anything to the table that is so attractive to you, causing you to be disengaged or uninvolved, you know, if you will. And if you are in a relationship, it's possible your partner is, I don't know, it's almost like taking on, multiple personalities trying to please you or something. It's, they're being, one day they're being this, the next day they're being this, and then, or they're this, and then they're this, and then they're promising, and it's just, you're not being fooled by that. Um, you know, maybe if you do have a really strong bond, that it is the bond that's keeping you together. Um, and you are going to fight for that, and you are going to fight for what you believe is true, and into your heart, and that whatever it is, your goal that you're focused on. And if you are single, it's could be multiple people approaching you that it's just not, it's not in their cards, if you will, to be with you. I'm not getting an entirely, beautiful, romantic, out of this world type of connection with someone, or I'm not getting anything really that bad either. I just kind of feel like, they're trying to draw you into their world. So maybe, this is your world, but it's also their world. And for whatever reason, you're just not quite buying it. So yeah, I'm trying to see if I missed anything. Like I said, this reading wasn't entirely clear. Sometimes in the general reading, which I do directly after this, reinforces some of the concepts. Sometimes, not always. So I'll go ahead and I'll shuffle and I'll clean the cards, and then I'll come back on it and do your general reading, and we'll kind of see what happens. Okay, Cancer. Here we go for your general reading for November 2015. I hope this reading is a little bit more clear, or at least reinforces some of the ideas in the last reading. Maybe not. Could be totally different. So let's see. For Cancer. Oops. Okay, here we go. Cancer. General reading. Your Knight of Swords. Your Eight of Pentacles. Your Emperor. Your King of Pentacles. Your Knight of Pentacles. Your Six of Swords. the Two of Pentacles, your Sun, and your Four of Pentacles. So see, and I told you that sometimes in the general reading, things are reinforced. And here I drew two of the same cards that I had in the last reading, your Knight of Swords and your Emperor. So definitely two distinct energies. And I think near the end of that love reading, I mentioned that it might have been, a Knight of Swords or someone of that level projecting to be a king. And here it is, a little bit more raw without any other, type of energy. And it's just the Knight and it's just the Emperor. And even here you have the King of Pentacles. With the last reading, I pulled the Queen. So for this general side, I feel like, again, this is you. This is your energy here, the King. And, I'll get to the Knight. I'm not sure about that quite yet. But here you go. And it's incredible how that happens sometimes. It's definitely not on accident. And here you are, Eight of Pentacles, surrounded by these energies, these two that came up in your last reading. And here you are with your head down, you're focused, you're looking at your work, you're not engaged with these individuals. There's a level of, doing your own thing, staying on your own path, keeping your own course, and doing what you know to be best. You are not being distracted. You are not allowing yourself to be distracted by these two very prominent energies this month. And you have lots of pentacles here, but I'm not necessarily seeing that it's, work related. I'm seeing it more as just you taking on, you're a water sign, but maybe taking on more of an earthy, earthy type qualities this month. A little bit more, maybe a little bit less emotional, more steadfast, more sturdy, more, a very emotionally mature month. Maybe a little bit slow moving, smart, business savvy, if you will. It seems to me that maybe the reason for your level of disengagement is you have some goal and you are not letting that go. You are, in your last reading, you had the Seven of Wands, I believe, right up here in this spot. And, that's you defending your work, defending everything that you have done to achieve and accomplish. And here you are holding fast, not budging. You are totally focused on something, some goal. And it's almost as though, because here you have your Six of Swords, which is this is one of my favorite cards. It's very lovely. It's very peaceful. It's you going through some sort of a spiritual journey, becoming connected with yourself and moving on. These swords are thoughts and experiences and emotional scars that come with you and stay with you your whole life, but they are the learning experiences that we all must achieve. You know, these are the lessons that you have learned, and you are taking them with you into new horizons. So you're taking them with you as you evolve. Um, and I think whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is your goal is, whatever the spiritual journey is that you're currently on, which seems like you should know exactly what this is and what this is referring to, and it seems like whatever it is going to make you very happy, and it will bring your world together, and it will give you, you know, the ultimate satisfaction. You know, this is like your dreams coming true. You know, I'm honestly seeing just the pent, like you just have a very earthy energy this month. It came out in your last reading as well. And here you have, you know, your Two of Pentacles, some kind of a choice, a balancing act, some sort of, you know, trying to juggle too many things. But I don't get the feeling that you're feeling overwhelmed at all. I have a feeling that what it is you're juggling is trying not to be, you know, distracted by these forces and these energies, these people, trying not to let yourself get sucked into their world or their drama or their, you know, whatever it is that they have going on, and just really hunkering down and doing what you know and what you believe to be your life path, your direction, your journey. That one was a little bit more cut and dry. That last one just didn't see. I mean, it's incredible how the cards resurface and how the energies do carry over into different areas of our lives. And hopefully after hearing this reading, you the love reading might make a little bit more sense. The Devil. Um, that's an interesting card. That's an interesting card to get after this reading. I feel like this card to me represents a card of passion. It's a card that speaks to the things that we willingly chain ourselves up to, those things that we willingly, you know, carry the burden and deal with the obligation, and you know, those things that we just are so accepting of, if they're not, even if they're not necessarily good for us or bad for us, but it is like a good strong good strong passion. And honestly, I feel like there is something in your life that you are passionate about, which is why you are not being distracted by these, hasty. I mean, I didn't really talk about this last time, but this energy, they're both hasty and fast moving, and they're a little bit, they're quick draws, and they move and bite quickly, and those are actually opposite of your energy this month. Like I said, the earthy, slow moving, nurturing, kind, they're almost polar opposites, if you will. And this goal, this idea that you have, that you're holding so fast to, is something that is so important to you. It's like the proverbial, the chain around you, the ball and chain. You're doing it to yourself, but willingly, because it's what you really want. And it's a good thing. And you will have it with the sun. You will have it. It will come to fruition. You are working hard. You are focused. You are not wavering. You are not letting yourself be distracted or being wooed into these other people's drama, these other people's, promises of great things. You had in the last reading, you had the King of Wands, the Emperor, and the Ten of Pentacles here, and the World. And I wasn't getting the sense that you were being deceived or being pulled into that. And again, that's still being reinforced here. You are holding fast to what you know that your heart genuinely wants. So, and I feel like even though there are so many pentacle cards, which can oftentimes mean commerce and money and material things, I feel like it's more of an idea that you have, that you're working for, a romantic idea, and not necessarily a monetary goal. It could be, but I'm not really seeing that so much. So yeah, let's see if there's anything else. No, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm glad this reading was a little bit more clear, and I'm also glad that it did reinforce some of the concepts in the last reading. So hopefully maybe go back and watch that first reading again and see if it makes a little bit more sense for you. So anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I'm so grateful, and I look forward to doing this again next month. Thanks.